it's Miss Audrey Monroe, and today I am back in my favorite vintage store, Vintage Ooollee, and I have quite an exceptional episode to bring to all of you. Most of the time I am focusing on women's fashion, beauty, and makeup, but today I'm bringing on a modern friend because we are taking this modern man with the help of Peter, which many of you have already met Peter in a previous episode, but Peter is going to be taking my modern friend here and turning him into a vintage madman. So if you're interested in just learning a little bit more about men's vintage fashion, how you could work that into your everyday routine or for a party, whatever extravaganza you have going on, then please come hang out with us. I told you.
Hi, Audrey.
Hi, sweetie. Oh, it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you. Who have you brought?
I have brought Kevin, if you remember.
Hi, Kevin. Nice to meet you.
This is Peter. We are going to be changing him around
Okay.
from this modern version of himself to a vintage madman.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay, come on. So the first part of any vintage journey is learning your measurements, whether you are male or female. It's a very important aspect just to have for true vintage clothing, vintage reproduction, or even if you're buying modern pieces, I think measurements help.
Oh, of course,
So-
especially because modern clothes today, I mean, small, medium, large, etc. And vintage clothes is very different from the measurement of your arms, your neck, your chest, even pants. They sit higher than modern pants that sit almost at the hips. And vintage pants that were about mine, or like right at the belly button. Yeah, look at that. So yeah.
We're both wearing high-waisted trousers. So I think we should go get the master,
Yes,
Ooollee.
my boss.
Yes, who owns Vintage Ooollee. We're going to be going off to get her and having her measure Kevin actually on film to make life a little bit easier for all of you guys.
Hey, I'm Ooollee. We're going to be measuring you today.
Oh, it's nice to meet you, Ooollee.
Nice to
This is
meet
a beautiful
you.
store you have here.
Thanks.
If people wanted to find out more about you and your store, what could they do?
Well, you know, Audrey has done a story on me before, and I'm sure she'll put the link down below and
Wonderful.
you can follow that.
Wonderful. Well, let's get measured.
Sure. Okay, you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. So your head is 23 1/4. Your neck, 16 1/2. Let's really get to know you better now.
Nice
Your
to meet
chest.
you.
Put your arms down, please.
Oh, I can do that. Is that important?
All right, it is. Make sure you stretch out a little bit more.
Okay.
We got 43 for the chest.
All right.
And for your waist, where's your belly button?
It would be right
there.
here.
Okay, so your waist is 39.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So this is our vintage Mad Men. Kevin, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty vintage.
Do you love it? I absolutely love this.
It's gorgeous.
This is a beautifully crafted suit, I believe from the 50s. And it just has this nice sheen to it that's very subtle.
Peter, can you explain a little bit about the fabric? What is this fabric
Sure,
called?
the fabric is shark skin. It was normally seen in the 50s and 60s. It has this really nice sheen, like Kevin was saying, and it has all these different colors really close. There's like blue, light blue, yellow, gold, black, and that makes it all perfect for styling with different colors, different ties, different hats.
So there are little accents that you add to a suit.
Yes.
Can you explain the details of a men's vintage suit, how they wore it?
Of course.
And went through and
so
go through those
with
things.
this particular suit, this is from the late 50s, early 60s, sharkskin suit. And with a suit like this, you would wear it with a skinny tie because the big thick ties really didn't come into fashion popularity till later.
Okay.
So something like this that's really beautiful, and it has the embroidery, and it has a pop of gold, and if you
Yes.
look really closely, there's gold inside the suit. So it kind of just ties everything together.
Is this similar material to my shark skin dress that
Yes,
I tried on?
very similar,
Okay.
except this one has a little bit more texture.
Okay, so I have another video as part of the Vintage Ooollee playlist where it's how to dress vintage, where I come in and Peter is actually showing me multiple beautiful things to wear
Yes.
that I wouldn't necessarily pick out for myself, one of them being sharkskin. So sharkskin was for both male and female.
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
More so, we saw it in men's suits. Less in, that's why that dress is so rare, is because we didn't really see it in women's clothing.
Okay, so we're going to show you all very briefly how to actually button a vintage suit because I did not realize that there was a certain way of doing it.
Yes, there are many rules to men's clothing. Colors that can't go together, certain things that button a certain way, zippers that can't do certain things, cufflinks, lengths. But one very important thing is when buttoning a suit, you only button the top button when you're walking around. And then if Kevin was to sit, he would unbutton his coat entirely.
So we never button the second button.
No, the second button is always open.
Is that with all vintage suits?
That's with every suit.
Oh, even
That's a
today,
rule.
even
Yes.
with modern suits. Okay. So I just noticed that this embroidery actually goes all the way down the tie. I love that.
Yes. And Ooollee was tying this tie earlier, and she was explaining that a Windsor knot will not work for skinny ties because there's not enough fabric. And with the rule of a tie is that it should just hit the tip of your pant line.
I see.
Just the tip of your
Just
pant
the
line.
tip of the pant line. Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about men's hats before we close out our episode today. And men were rarely ever seen coming and going without a cover on their
Almost anyone was never seen without a hat on their head. Women did not go out, and men did not go out. Especially, it really showed their class and where they were socially. So hats were very decorative, and they would never leave the house without one, and they would never be inside with one.
I see.
Yes, so if you were to walk into a store like this one, no hat.
I love that you share all this history whenever we come to Vintage Ooollee. It's
Of
such
course.
a special place. Thank you guys so much for spending this evening with me and my dear friends at Vintage Ooollee, and even my friend Kevin. This is his first time wearing a true vintage piece. And
Yes, it
Merry
is.
Christmas, honey, because this is coming home with you today. Now, this complete suit was handpicked by Ooollee.
Yes.
As mentioned earlier, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about Vintage Ooollee in the store, you can see all the other episodes that we've actually filmed here. There is a video dedicated where I have interviewed Ooollee, and she shares the history about this magical place that we all love. Thank you guys again so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Become part of the Glam Fam here on Miss Audrey Monroe. Make sure you hit the bell notifier so that you never miss out on any of the posts. All my social media handles will be in the drop-down menu if you'd like to come say hi on social, including Peter's and Kevin's as well. And our beautiful filmographer behind the camera, Miss Ruby Culpepper, her handle will be in the drop-down menu as well. Remember to stay kind and glamorous to everybody this holiday season, and I hope that you all have a fantastic night wherever you are. Bye! So, we also...
Blah, blah, blah. Words.
Are we still recording?
Yeah, we're still
okay,
rolling.
we're just rolling. Okay.
Damn it.
We're gonna do that one more time.
Oh.
Let's
How are you? What? Did you go wrong way? What way?
What way were we going?
We always go this way.
Okay,
But
so
you
let's start
always-
from there.